Hello, it's Debbie Gilbert from the Business Awards show, and I'm also the founder of the Best Business Women Awards. And today I am delighted to be joined by another woman who champions female entrepreneurs. The amazing Ceylan Boyce is here with me today. She has been working in business strategy for well over 20 years now, and she's got her own business called the Academy for Women Entrepreneurs. And she's had that for the last 5 years. She celebrated her 5th birthday with that business this week. And she's going to be sharing some great tips about how you can actually utilize the support that's out there to grow your business. And there might be things out there that you just didn't know about, you just didn't know existed. So we're going to talk a bit about that today. And also she has her own podcast as well. So we'll get some details on that as well. So welcome, Ceylan. I know you prefer to be called Jay.
Yeah, thank you. Well, thank you. Thank you. Very happy to be here.
Oh, fantastic. So let's start by talking about your journey. So what took you into the world of entrepreneurship?
Okay, I was born into an entrepreneurial family. And when I was 4, I made my first money. When I was 6, I had my first enterprise. It was meant to be, Debbie. It was meant to be. It was really the other day I was talking with my mom and we were like, is there was employed in our family? And we could not find it. So I grew up with business, talking about business, sales, this and that. So I guess it was in me in terms of being an entrepreneur. But I didn't start my career as an entrepreneur. I actually started in the big corporate. I've done advertising, marketing, consultancy, and always in the strategy part. And and then I guess my story, a lot of women would relate. It's the classical corporate burning the wings. Oh, someone has been mean to you, and then you had the whole world in front of you. All of a sudden the doors closed because you didn't know how to play the corporate game. All that stuff that happened to me as well. And I went, whatever, I can do this by myself. And I became an entrepreneur in 2012.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a consultancy doing exactly the same thing that I used to do in the corporates, which is helping healthcare brands and pharma sector getting their kind of products, mainly big medications out there. So I've done it between 2012 and 2017. But again, I was just like, I loved the job. I didn't love with who I was dealing. It was still too corporate for me. And then after that, I lived my midlife crisis a bit early, and fell into this world of women entrepreneurs as of 2017.
So what made you niche into that area?
So it's a funny story. I don't know, how long do we have?
We love a funny story.
So basically, as I said, I went into this really dark place where I was like, holy poop, I have been, putting all my energy into my career. I've grown my career really fast, really good, I've done all the, it's good ticks, great university tick, a lot of languages tick. And then I found myself in this situation where I was like, I have money, but I am absolutely miserable. And I was doing a lot of yoga back then. So I said, I'm going to do yoga teacher training. Never thought that I was going to become a yoga teacher. And then when I went to my teacher training course providers, it was a couple, and the man was an ex-consultancy as well, from one of the biggest consultancy firms. And he said to me, why do you want to do yoga teacher training? And I said, you know what? I don't know why, but I feel like there's an answer behind this door. So I'm just gonna move through this door. And then I've done this yoga teacher training. And one day in the training, I was training the class as a teacher, apprentice teacher, and then I was doing stuff. And then after that, he said to me, you know, you should consider coaching. I think there's something in you that could be a good, you know, that would take you to a good coaching. I'm like, okay, let's try. And I was looking, and there are a lot of coaching offers out there. And me coming from, you know, this academic background, I wanted to nail this. And I found that Cambridge University had a coaching diploma. So I applied for it. And that was so funny because I started the course right after I got married, and by accident or whatever, I got pregnant at the same time.
Trying to do two things, as we do.
And my coaching teacher back then, my tutor in Cambridge, she was telling me that I was actually I was going to give birth to my baby and to this new thing, because I was talking about it. Like, I don't want to be just a coach. I need to create some impact, etc. And then anyhow, the baby hit me, and I remember like coaching people. I would coach whoever, Debbie, whoever had the breathing capacity. I would be like, can I coach you? So I was coaching. But usually it's always business owners who were coming to me because of my background, probably. You know, I was coaching with my kid on the boob and coaching. And then slowly it really turned into mostly women business owner coaching without me really noticing. I had men as well, but I think I was getting better connection with women. And then by coincidence, I started to work for European Commission, and we ran big networking and workshops for them for women entrepreneurship. And there were some kind of like light bulb moments where we came up with 4 big barriers in front of women, and you're going to be nodding. So the first one is lack of funds. The second one is lack of network. Third one is lack of business acumen. And then the final one is lack of relatable role models. And I was like, I can do this. I can actually tick all the 4. And then I came back from that workshop thing, and I wrote Academy for Women Entrepreneurs on a big, massive post-it on my wall, and I slept on it. That was 2018 or 19. And, you know, incorporation and launch, it was 2020. So that's how I ended up from yoga.
Story. So talk me through the sorts of things that you provide for women, because I know you've had an event this week, haven't you?
We did, yes. We celebrated our 5th anniversary, but not just. So the focus of Academy for Women Entrepreneurs is mostly service-based and what I call under the radar businesses. So these are the businesses that don't attract the attention of investors. They are usually, you know, small growth sectors, so health and wellness, education. So it's not tech. And the reason why I wanted to focus on these businesses is A, it's 99% of businesses owned by women, and B, because tech girls already have enough attention. I think there are a lot of offer out there. There are accelerators. There are, you know, they would find their way through. There are grants, there are banks that are helping, so they will find their way through. Those who are really struggling are your copywriters, photographers, you know, service providers, agencies, marketing agency, or, you know, recruitment agency. I mean, I'm thinking of our people. So we focus on them. And I don't know if you know this stat. I'm not going to be able to give you exact numbers, but fortunately, the entry into entrepreneurship by women has increased in the past years.
Yeah.
Actually, it's more than men. But when you look at the growth rates of businesses owned by women, it's really slow and it's really small. So women on average, women-owned businesses on average turn over 150K versus 450K by men. So it's 1 to 3, you know. And if we want more women to come into this, you know, hell, why would we do that? So we should change these stats. We should actually make women earn more money. And the thing is, women like to work with women. They like to support each other. They like to invest in impact projects. So more women earning more money is going to make more good in itself in the business arena as well. So we are focused on business growth. So we help women business owners who have been in business for at least a year, who are already turning around 50K-ish, and then they are kind of at that level where they're like, what's next? You know, how am I going to get out of there? I have too much to do, not enough income, not regular leads, unstable income. What am I supposed to do? And then we kind of teach them, or no, you know what? We don't teach anything. We guide them through a business way of thinking and discipline in our workshops and in our growth programs, so that they acquire this kind of idea of, you know what, I need to work on the business. It's not just about the clients, and I need to work on the business with the specific mindset called strategic mindset to grow the business. And we put them together, and then magic happens. That's what we do.
Wow, that sounds amazing. And I guess you've had some really great success stories that have come out of your academy.
We do. We have really, I mean, it is actually, even for me, it was like, wow, actually it works. Amazing.
That's fantastic.
Because 92% of our members, this is a stat that I have from 2022. So 92% of our members said they grew their businesses by 87%. There are people who doubled, tripled their businesses. It really depends on A, where you are at in your business, B, how serious are you? Because, you know, we have everything to put you into a system that works, but you got to commit and come and do the stuff. You know it. So that system works, the process works. And now we say it, that like, trust the process. It's not sexy. It's all about planning. It's about thinking strategically. It's about working on your business. It's not sexy. It's not fun, but it works. The results are really sexy.
Yeah, it's implementation at the end of the day.
Yeah.
If people don't absorb that knowledge from you and take what you're teaching and implement it, well, it isn't going to work, but clearly it does for those that implement. So you've won some awards yourself, haven't you?
I have.
And you are sponsoring the Best Business Women Awards this year, which we're very excited to have you.
I am.
So let's talk a bit about awards in your views. Where do they sit in terms of, you know, business promotion, getting that recognition? What's your thoughts on it?
Right. So this is a really, to me, it's a really important topic, because you can put, I'm an award winner if you pay, I don't know, £2,000, £3,000. I keep like receiving these emails. People, I don't even know who they are, where they're based, how did they get my, you know, and they're like, you were nominated. If you pay us X amount, you're gonna.
I know.
You know?
I know.
So the importance of the awards, I think it's twofold. One is it really allows you to celebrate.
Definitely.
Right? it's something, it's an achievement, it's a stepping stone that allows you to celebrate a level of business that you achieved. So that's great. Now, for it to be that, it needs to be serious, like your awards, right? It needs to have proper ways of looking at the files of the attendees, and looking, have some really good systems to grade them, score them, etc., so that actually you feel like you deserved it. Then after that, once you deserved it and you got an award, it's an amazing way to promote yourself, and to create your success story around it, to then connect with the other award winners. You have a community in your awards. I came to the awards nights before, because one of my clients won, actually three of my clients won awards with you.
Oh, wow.
So I came to the awards nights before, and there is that vibe, and that vibe is not just, hey, girls get together and drink. It's also business vibe. You connect with those people. Like, if you put more than 10 people, which is much more than that, you have hundreds of people in that awards night. It's business opportunities all over the place. So it's direct business opportunities, it's publicity and PR, but also it's well done, because who is there to recognize you?
Exactly. Yeah, totally agree with you. I mean, it's a great celebration at the end of the day. And I'm a great fan of credible awards, not awards where people have to vote, not awards where people are given these fictitious nominations. We've been talking a lot about that this week, actually, on LinkedIn about it. So I want to kind of move a sidestep here and talk about networking, because you're very passionate about networking and you've run networking events. If people are sort of sitting on the sidelines thinking, oh, do I get involved with a networking group or not? What's your thoughts on that?
So, I came to this. So I'm from Turkey originally. I lived in France for years, and then I came here when I was 30, 13 years ago. I had no one beside my back then boyfriend, now husband. I had no one. If I have a business that is actually functioning, growing, feeding me, my family, etc., it's because I networked. And I hated networking.
What did you hate about it?
Well, first of all, although it doesn't look like it, I'm an introvert. So it's not like I go into networking and I, gain energized and gain power out of it. It's the opposite. It drains me. So it was kind of one. Two, I didn't know how to do that. I thought that you go and you have to sell yourself. And that's always a little bit awkward and not fun. So networking, especially at the start of your business and for a long while, is crucial for many reasons. One is growing your business, because people do business with people they like and they trust. So to grow your business, to get, to earn money, but also it becomes your tribe. You find, the lawyer, and then you find the marketing agency, you find the PR girl, you find the copywriter, you find this, you find that. It becomes your team, and it becomes your tribe in terms of, we call it empowered tribe, our community. It's because they actually empower each other. They go, oh, I have this client issue, what do I do with this? Or who do you talk to if you don't network?
Exactly.
How do? You are, especially until you have a team. And when you have a team, you need people around you to guide you through the problems with that team. So you will have problems and you will have to share them. How do you do that? Who do you share with? I'm lucky my husband is a entrepreneur as well. But if you're close friends and family are not entrepreneurs. How do you do?
They don't get it. They do not get it. It was the first time when I went to my very first networking event, which was back in 2003. It was weird because suddenly I was full of in a room full of people that got my challenges and understood that I wasn't sitting at home all day doing, doing my nails and watching. Then it was Things Like This Morning with Judy and Richard. That, I was actually running a business, and they kind of got it because actually back in 2003, there were not very many people running a business from home. It was, it was just wasn't the mainstream then, and it is now. So in your community, do people meet up on a regular basis as well as the one-off events that you do?
Oh, yeah. So one-off events are, and you have regular because it's quarterly.
Yeah.
So we do quarterly planning events, growth planning events.
Yeah.
They're called Create Your Game Plan. Every quarter we have it already planned for June, September, and December. And then we have online meetups with one of the Empower Tribes. So Empower Tribe is our growth programs, and we have the Mastermind, which meet up several times in the month for different occasions. So one would be a performance coaching, but people share and coach each other. The other one would be what we call cash date, where you kind of co-work, but you work on your cash and cash flow forecasting. And then we have another one, it's called Get Shit Done. Sorry for swearing, but it's the name. And it's kind of, again, co-working, but you create accountability around it. It's like, I'm going to achieve this. Have you done it? Have you not done it during that session? And then finally, we have also a WhatsApp group where everyone checks in every Monday and mostly Friday as well, to say, this is what I want to achieve. This is my focus. This is, oh, I got it, I didn't get it. And in the meantime, there's a lot of also, hey, can you help me with this, etc. So it's a really connected, great tribe. And can I do some launch news? So we're launching this amazing program for people a little bit maybe lower than 50K turnover. And that is more for, like, what we're going to do is we're launching monthly breakfasts in London and online, and we call it Empower Tribe Planners. So because it will have a monthly kind of, I'm falling off the wagon. I didn't, I was clear 2 months ago, but I'm not now. That kind of monthly re-injection of clarity, motivation, focus, all of it. And then a part of, okay, I'm going to connect around challenges and also celebrations. And it's going to be like pods of discussion, not like classical, I'm going to pitch my business, but you'll be co-working together around certain areas of your business with people who are there. So we're launching that program, and we're launching it on the 29th of April.
Wow. Well, you heard it first.
I know. I'm so excited. We're really excited. And we really had a great feedback on it. And so we're kind of filling the room now. So yeah.
And if you are not busy enough, you also have a podcast called She Is Awesome. So tell us a bit about the podcast. Who do you interview, and how often do your episodes go out? And what was the purpose behind it as well? I'd love to know.
Yeah, I was the podcast is on pause, but we have 103 episodes on it.
Wow.
And we will get back to it because we are very busy. But once this launch is done, etc., we're gonna get back to it in more series ways. And She's Awesome is the podcast. And I talked about the 4 barriers, and one of them was the relatable role models. So the aim of that podcast was bringing a relatable role model on the podcast in terms of people to be able to listen to the next step or to their own step, but with someone who is experiencing it at the same time and solving it, right? So and the reason why I called it She's Awesome, there's a lot of data about this, but you know, how women do not own their greatness, how women
Mm.
so how women apply for a job if they are 100% meeting the job criteria, and men apply for a job if they're meeting even 60% of the criteria. So all this made me say, you know what, I'm going to ask this question. And at the end of the episodes, I asked this one question, which is, why are you awesome? And it gets that little reaction. Everybody goes, and then they have to go, all right, I have to say it. So, and they think and they say it. And that's to own our greatness and to be able to actually self-promote, because that is something that we are lacking.
I love it. I love it. I love it. So make sure there's some links to that, those episodes in our show notes as well.
Oh yeah, definitely. Thank you.
We always, you know, towards the end of the podcast, we always talk about business tips. And I feel that you're going to have an awful lot because you've got so much knowledge in your brain and so much to share. But think about somebody perhaps listening to the podcast. They are at that crossroads thinking, right, I've got my business so far and I'm now thinking about awards, or I'm now thinking about developing and growing certain areas of my business. What sort of advice, where would somebody even start to think about the next steps for them?
So I would say, like, I'm going to talk about some symptoms and what is the one thing that really works, right? The symptoms is, you know, when you start to have that creative thinking, usually you are in a pop space where either it's too much work and you don't have time, and you got to do something, some structural stuff, and you have to take the leap of faith to bring someone in, etc., or it's not enough money, right? And that creates unclarity. So it's a lack of leads. Like, these are the things that I hear, and probably you're going to say, me too. It's like, I don't have a flow of leads. I don't have stable growing income. I can't predict tomorrow. I can't invest because I can't predict if I'm going to earn money or not. I had amazing 2 months, and it's been 3 months that I haven't done any sales. This is a symptom. I have a great idea, right? It's like a lot of people have great ideas. The minute they doubt the process because they are not, they're not building momentum, they're not being consistent because they started to lose focus, right? So these are all actually the symptom of one big thing, which is lack of clarity. Okay, it's kind of like you don't know exactly where you are going. And I'm not talking about the big, 5 years later, the big vision, etc. I'm talking about in 3 months where you are, what are the things that we need to achieve? You don't know exactly about, like, what is that? And you have to know exactly. And you don't know how to get there. So there's no focus, no clarity, hence why you can't build momentum, because you're not taking consistent action. So it goes, oh, I'm going to do awards. Oh, no, I'm going to just post this post. Oh, no, shall I call this person? I'm going to go to this event. And it becomes a mumbo jumbo, right? And the only proper way to really gain control over all this and over your business is very simple. It's planning. Now, it sounds like I am promoting myself. If you hate me, if you don't like my voice, if you don't like my type, it's okay. Just take time to take perspective and ask yourself this question: what am I doing? Where I want to go? Where I want to go. Okay, in 3 months, what would be a great income for me? How and then go, how am I going to get there? Right, I'm going to give a very simple, I need £1,000. What does it mean in sales? How many sales do I need to do? Okay, I need to do 3 sales. Right. How am I going to do that? Do I have enough people around me who's interested in what I'm selling that will buy that 3 sales? Right. Okay, I don't. Well, how am I going to get those people? right? And if you're at that level of £1,000 in 3 sales, the next thing to do, the next best thing to do after the planning is network your butt off.
I love that.
Right? Because and don't network just going into events and showing yourself. No, have a strategy of networking. Network, go meet people, have one-to-ones, nurture those relationships, give value to those relationships, help people. It's unbelievable when you help people, how they kind of help you to grow as well.
Very true. Very,
So
very.
if you are like, if you're at that level of, oh my God, where's the money coming from? How am I going to pay this and that? You know, get back to your existing network and then go out there and show up.
Yeah. Which is such good advice. And the planning side, such good advice, because I've certainly worked with a lot of female entrepreneurs in my 28 years in business. And I don't know what it is, but people just think they can bypass the planning and they do the bits. It was something you said earlier. They do the bits they like to do, that they enjoy, and then they leave all the tasks that would actually make such a difference to their business and don't do them. And they get this bright, shiny object syndrome where they're doing this course and that course, or they're going to this event and that event, and they're not actually following through with anything. Is
Yeah.
that something that you see a lot of as well?
Oh yeah, yeah. I call it either course junkie, event junkie. You know, it's like the minute you see that you are doing the same of the same thing a lot and there's no results, they're like, you're not doing more of it is not going to give you results. You got to just take a step back and see, okay, I've done 10 events in the past 2 weeks, but I haven't followed up with one person.
Yeah.
It's just loss of time. Right?
Yeah.
I have applied for 10 awards. I won them, but I haven't utilized them. Well, that's, you know, then why did you do it's just loss of time. Do it with purpose. Awards are amazing. They should come to you and they should apply and they should win those awards. And they need to then, you know, use those awards, not in one post.
No. No, no, it has to be a legacy. They have to do something with it. Yeah.
Exactly. So it's kind of taking it to the end. And it's difficult. We do planning every 3 months. And when we don't do it, because you know, life happens, the team tells me we didn't do it. And look what's happened. Like, we actually lose momentum.
Oh, no, I totally, absolutely agree with that. And that's why we give people such a long lead time with the entry for our awards, because actually it gives them the chance to plan and start, you know, what information they need to pull together. Some awards, literally, they announce, they're open, and they close within a month.
Yeah.
It's very hard for people to do a really good award entry with literally 1 month when you're trying to run a business on top.
Yeah.
But I think planning is fundamental in every business. And I would say 60 to 70% of people don't do enough of it.
Oh, yeah. I would put it to 90 to 95.
Put it higher. And I just think it's frustrating because sometimes you meet people and you listen to what they're saying. I talked to somebody last week who told me she had spent £70,000 in the past 18 months on courses for so many different things. And the penny has started to drop that actually she didn't need to be good at YouTube, and she didn't need to be good at Facebook ads, and she didn't need to be good at, I can't remember what the other thing was. There were so many things, funnels, that she could have just outsourced that. Her business probably would be turning over 4 to 5 times more than it is now, because if she'd invested that £70,000 in getting help rather than trying to teach her how to do it, and then she's overwhelmed and hasn't got the time to do it and now needs to outsource it anyway.
Exactly. I mean, even if you knew how to do it, you don't have time to do it. So,
well, I always use the example of Richard Branson because he's the one who was probably coined the first phrase about, you know, do what you're good at and outsource everything else. And you know, that's what we should be doing. We should be doing the planning. From the planning comes what tasks need to be done, what can be outsourced. And if you want to grow a business, you have to do the outsourcing, either by getting staff in or using freelancers. You can't
Yeah.
yourself.
And there is something, it's you know, it's not what you know, it's who you know that will change your business. In terms of networking, like it's who you connected, and are they good door openers for you, but also in terms of work, whatever you do, let's say you did the 100K courses and you learned all this, it's just impossible for you to be as good at Facebook ads as a person who has been doing it for the past 10 years, who knows ins and outs. So it just doesn't make sense for you to learn that.
No.
It just doesn't make sense.
No, and as I said to this lady, at the end of the day, have an overview by all means, understand the mechanics and as an overview, because she was saying, well, if I'd outsourced it straight away, I wouldn't have understood what I was outsourcing. And I said, well, you would. You just have to trust somebody else is going to do the job and just get an overview so that you can look at your statistics and make sure that the ads are working and that sort of stuff. But she feels now that she has wasted 18 months of her business progression. And I, have to agree that I think she probably has, but she's now going to step off that guilt wagon and say that money's gone. It's been spent. She's done it. She has learned stuff from it. Now she has to go forward into the next phase.
Yeah.
So I think we're very good at clinging on to guilt from things. We all make mistakes as entrepreneurs. But I think the biggest wins are when you walk away from whatever mistake it is that you've made and learn from that mistake and take that progression with you.
Yeah. Yeah, this is very well said. In our event this week, we had Ceylan Boyce, who is, yeah, you know her, right? She is the founder of Pure Coaching Academy, and she was our speaker. And she said something. She said, you're gonna, and it was about resilience. And she said, you're gonna find things that will tell you that you don't belong, you don't deserve, you're not good enough. That there are many of it in your brain. The things that you're not going to find is why you're there and why you're good at it, and what are you good at it. And then she said, buy a little notepad and then write down what you are good at, and keep it safe. I've done it. It's like, I'm a coach. I have all my tools. I'm really tuned in with my, understanding of my brain, how it works, all the self-awareness. But I do catch myself dwelling into the negative talk and going, oh, why did I do that? And it's really important to go, okay, I've done it. Great. It was a mistake. Now I'll move on, and I have all the tools and skills and greatness to be able to move on. And that is really important. So yeah, Ceylan, if you listen to this, thank you.
You've got an episode with Ceylan. I'll have to reference that now when we do the show notes.
Yeah.
Ceylan is amazing, and she's been a judge now for, oh gosh, must be 5 years. And she was a winner of our best coach category way back, probably 2016, 2017.
Yeah, she's a great coach. She's a client of mine as well. So we work together on her business, but she has an amazing business. It's a solid business, and we took it to international last Friday together. So that was the part where we were working together. But she is an amazing coach, and her speech was, resonated with everyone.
Yeah, she's great. So if you're listening to the episode today, go and look up Ceylan Boyce. Amazing. I could talk to you for hours. You have so much knowledge to share, and I love your energy and I love your passion. So if you've been listening to the podcast today, we will make sure that Jay's details are in the show notes so you can connect up with her. And if you're watching on YouTube, we will put the details in the description. I wish you continued success with the Academy for Women Entrepreneurs. I know it's just going to keep going strength to strength. And I wish you every success. And it's great to have you with us at the awards this year as a sponsor. So fabulous. Thank you.
Thank you, Debbie. It's an honor, and thank you for having me on the podcast as well.
Thank you.